This podcast is intended for adults 18 years and older. It contains explicit language and sexual situations. All thoughts and opinions expressed are of our own and not of those of any specific group, employer, or individual, and is not intended to take as professional advice.
Welcome to the Foreplay Podcast. Join the journey, experiences, and sexual adventures of two high school sweethearts navigating through the swinging lifestyle as millennials. Come along for the ride. Dare to play?
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Foreplay Podcast. This is Bella.
This is Jace.
Today's episode, we are going to be talking all about body types in the swinging lifestyle. And we get the question a lot, asking, is my body accepted? If I look like this, will I be accepted in the lifestyle? And a lot of people, especially newbies, feel like maybe they are going to feel out of place because they don't look a specific way. And that is what we're going to be touching on today.
So the first thing before we even go into like details and all this kind of stuff is, yes, you are accepted. All different body types, all ethnicities, all sexual orientations, whatever you are accepted in the lifestyle.
If you're legal age.
Yes,
yeah.
If you're
legal age, okay?
If you're legal age. Once we go, yes, legal age, and then after that, yes, you're accepted. And I think that that's just a really important thing to know before we get into anything, is that yes, you are accepted and everyone is, and that's what's so great about the lifestyle. It's diverse and you will fit in just like everybody else does. And I just feel like Bella said at the beginning, I think sometimes when you're newer, you do have that idea of like, what if I'm not the same, or what if whatever it is, right? And so get that out of your head. You are going to be able to be a part of this lifestyle, have an amazing journey, no matter what or who you are.
We've had a lot of people say that before they go into a club, there's just that, or before they step onto a cruise, whatever it is, before they go to an event, they have this bout of anxiety right before because they just don't know what to expect going in. And then I feel like once you go in, you see everything for what it's worth, and you're like, okay, I didn't really have anything to be worried about, because there literally is so many different types of people.
Yeah, and if you guys have been listeners of our podcast for a while, you have heard us say this, but we say it's like an airport minus the kids. That is what a lifestyle event is going to be like. You are going to see all different kinds of people, all different types of body types, like everything, right? It's just this big array of different types of people. And so I think that an airport is like probably the best description that we've ever really found that kind of,
encompasses
fits.
what
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
really like, because it literally is so diverse. Again, it's also going to depend on where you go, I guess, regionally, but that's going to convey what it's like just in your area, even if it's not a specific lifestyle club. If that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense what you're saying. And I think that part of the reason that we have this idea that, you're going to go in and you're going to see all these really young, hot, fit people, I think, or you're going to see just a bunch of people who are 90 years old, I think is because of the two different stereotypes, right? I think that there's the stereotype of swingers are like, 80-year-olds.
I don't think they think 80. I think that the stereotype is probably 60s.
Yeah. Well, whatever it is, right? It's just, it has a stereotype of it's just older people in general.
Right.
Or if you go on to, some sort of lifestyle website, or you see the banners for parties, or for the advertisements for cruises or resorts, the flyers, it's all these stereotypical good-looking models who have these ideal body types that have the chiseled abs or whatever, whatever it is. So I think that going in, I think that's the kind of the two different types that you're going to either find no one because everyone is way older than you, or you're not going to fit in because everyone is extremely hot and fit, or whatever it is. And so I think because of those things, I think that's why we get into our mind that like, hey, this is what the club's going to look like. It has to be this or this, which I said couldn't be further from the truth. But I think like that's probably where that comes from.
Definitely. And it's not like that. Just letting you know. So do those advertisements like that, obviously, to advertise and to market it that way. But once you go into a lifestyle club or event, a majority does not look like that. So there are people who are in their 60s and there are people who do look like those stereotypical models, but it's not the majority.
I don't really know if there is a majority of anything to me.
The age range is the majority.
Yeah.
So it's probably a majority 40 to 45 is
I'd
the
say 40
typical.
to 50.
Yeah, 40 to 50 is the typical.
Even
And
40
then-
to 55 maybe.
Yeah. But within the body types within that age range, it's very diverse. I would think a majority of people are more on the average size over the very, very fit bodies, or even on the opposite spectrum of
A
that.
few examples to me of showing how not only is there all these types of body types, but that everyone has fun and everyone feels comfortable is the ideas of, like, for example, I know that whenever you see people dress up for theme nights, right? I see every body type in sexy clothing, in lingerie, in more modest clothing, whatever your body type is. It doesn't matter. Like, every single type of body type is wearing every type of clothing.
Yeah.
It's the same thing if you go to, let's say that you're in the solarium and it's a fully nude area. You see all different body types and all different ages, right? Also having a great time in the solarium. And
In the
that's
nude,
yeah,
yeah.
and that's completely nude. And to me, and same in the playrooms, right? You see all body types, all ages in the playrooms. And the one thing they have in common is everyone is having the same amount of fun. I don't ever see people like, oh wow, those people who are extremely fit look like they're having more fun, or these people who are
Yeah.
wearing this or having, like, it doesn't seem that way to me whatsoever. I feel like everybody is just having a great time being themselves, and everyone around them is having a great time being themselves.
Once you go into a space like this or an event like this, after you get over that hurdle of, oh my gosh, am I going to fit in? I think you feel the most confident you've ever felt. That's how it's been for us. That's how it's been for a lot of people who have come up and even told us that. And it's just the anxiety and the idea behind it. But once you actually go in and actually see what it's actually like, it is such a safe space. And having that huge variety of different body types and seeing how everybody is so comfortable and okay being themselves, it's like a breath of fresh air.
100%. And also, we have to think that attractiveness is subjective, right? In the big picture of it, that is how attractiveness is. I always think that I know that I am not attracted to everybody, so I don't expect everyone to be attracted to me. And I think that there's a lot going into that too, because you go on to a cruise or a resort or your club or whatever, and you think, well, what if I don't find people who I'm their type? Or what if I don't find people that are my type, or vice versa, right? And that's also it's just a reality that some of that is going to be true. There's going to be people that are not your type. You are not going to be everyone's type. And that's totally okay. And I know we also always talk about it. To us, I feel like it's so much deeper than even just that physical attraction, because you have the connection and the talking and personality that makes such a huge difference. Because there's also the thing of, I know that there has been people on paper who are very attractive to me. Maybe they're like my type. And then once I talk, we don't vibe the same, and that changes your attractiveness. And same on the opposite, where sometimes maybe there's someone who's not quite my type on paper. You get to know them, and that person becomes extremely attractive to you. So I think we have to think that even in all of this, past even the body types, right, it's all relative.
And you can't be offended by that. I know we've talked about this many times before, but we always recommend the book, The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. And one of the 4 agreements is to not take things personally. And you just have to come to that acceptance that you cannot take it personally if someone is not interested in you or not attracted to you. And maybe that even if you have an amazing personality and you're vibing on that friendship level, you have to also have that physical attractiveness to another person for it to, move on to play.
For the most part.
For
most people, yes.
And if for some reason another person doesn't vibe with you on the physical aspect, you have to be okay with that. Mm-hmm. And that book really did help us.
I agree. 100%. I feel the same way. And I also know that if you go in to a lifestyle club or a place, sometimes you are going to see a group of people who all have a similar aesthetic, right? And that's also totally normal. Just like we said, it's okay for you to like whoever you want and do whatever you want. If those people, like let's say maybe a whole group looks really alike and they all have those same physical attributes and that's who they choose to hang out with, then that's also totally fine. I feel like everyone just gets to do whatever they want to do, but just know that everyone is accepting. And groups, to me, we've talked about this before too, but like sometimes these groups of people, maybe they seem standoffish or maybe they seem like, they're hard to approach. Lots of time those groups are just people who have been together for a long time. They have a really great friendship in their group and they are very welcoming, but it seems intimidating. It seems like they're a clique, but in reality they've just been friends for a long time. They just hang out and
it looks intimidating.
Yeah.
And it makes sense that it's intimidating. And I also wouldn't want to go barge in on a group of people, no matter what they look like, if they already look like they're an established group of friends. But you can't take offense to that. You can't be upset that these groups of people are hanging out with their friends. That's just the reality of it, is that, that's what it is.
Yeah, not all personalities mesh, right? Like you have friend groups yourself and not everyone's going to mesh into your friend group. That's just not the reality. We've done this. We've
I was about
tried
to say mesh friend groups.
Yeah.
And even when they look even similar, it doesn't always work. And that's something that we've realized more recently, probably within the last year, that even if we like certain people and we get along with certain people or even certain groups of people, when we try to merge them together, we're like friends with different groups. Yeah. And trying to merge those groups together usually doesn't work out.
Yeah, it's not like anyone dislikes each other, but it's just like
the
sometimes
vibe is just off.
Exactly. And it's because everyone just finds their people. And sometimes like maybe you fit into multiple different groups, right? But that doesn't mean that because you fit into this group and you fit into this group vibe-wise, it doesn't mean that those two groups will also fit together.
Yeah.
Like vibe-wise, right? And so all of that being said, I just feel like there's so many different types of groups and like you're going to find your people. You're going to find people that you're going to fit in with no matter what your body type is, no matter what your personality is, really. You're going to find those people and just know that it's not going to work with every group. That just isn't a reality.
And just because a group seems to be together with the same type of people, it doesn't mean anything to you. I think that we get into this mind space where it's like, well, if this group of people only likes to hang out with these kind of people and I can't fit into there, then something's wrong with me. And that's not the case at all. It's just like we were saying earlier, just sometimes the vibes just aren't there. Like sometimes it's just you don't mesh with other people, and you shouldn't be conforming to try to fit within a group of people either. And that's why we're such big advocates of just being yourself. And that's why we like to be so fluid in who we hang out with. We hang out with a lot of groups because we are ourselves and we are able to, I guess, mesh with a lot of different people. But what we were saying earlier, a lot of people like to just hang out with their own groups.
Which is totally
and that's okay. And so
it's hard to make friends.
Yeah.
Like, as an adult, it's not like when you're in kindergarten, you just go up and talk to anyone. Like, it can be very difficult, very intimidating to do that. And so if you find a group and you fit in with that group and that's what you feel safe and that's what you want to do, it's your journey, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's you and your couple journey. And so do whatever makes you feel good. I feel like we also should talk a little bit about, like, confidence, because I feel like that's such a huge part of the equation. Is we've said so many times that to us, confidence is the most attractive thing.
So you're going to see, regardless of the body types, you're going to see people who are confident in their bodies no matter what they look like in the lifestyle. And that's one of the most attractive things is confidence, not cockiness, okay? Not cockiness. You can be overconfident. And I'm going to be honest here, but some of the people that you'll find who do have those, quotations, ideal, muscly, like super fit body types, sometimes they can fall more into that cocky category. Now, I'm not saying all, okay? I'm just saying like some.
It's a small percentage.
Yeah.
Because just like in the lifestyle, most people are really great people. So
Yeah,
I would say
yeah,
it's a
yeah.
small percentage, but when it does get into the cockiness, I feel like it probably falls more that way. I think you are correct.
What I'm trying to like say is because you would think that when you're going into it, you're thinking it's all about physical attractiveness, right? We have met people who do have those ideal body types, and yes, they're like very beautiful to look at. When it gets into that cocky area, like we don't really want anything to do with them. And so that's why I want it to be so clear that you don't have to look a specific way, because even the people who do look a specific way that you think everybody is trying to get with, not everybody is into that. And they're not always like the best kind of people. So stop trying to conform into looking like that or being like that, and just focus on being yourself. And you're going to get so much further that way. And you're going to have such like way more of an enjoyable time.
Yeah, and if you've heard us talk, we always say that the more connected you are to someone and the better those connections get, the better those experiences are, whether that's just hanging out or even when it turns into play. It's so much more than that physical. It is that connection and that confidence that people have. And I think that that's truthfully always to me is what makes someone the most attractive. And I know it's something that's really hard to gain confidence. I know that I struggled with it for a long time. Me and Bella have been together since we were 15, and I remember that I never had a girlfriend before. I don't really know if anyone ever liked me because I was this shy kid. And so I had so much trouble feeling confident because, the only person who ever really told me that I was attractive was my girlfriend at the time, Bella, who's now my wife. But like it sometimes it's hard to feel that confidence. And so just know that it's one of those things that if you don't feel the most confident right this second, that's okay. You can gain confidence with time. And that's part of the beauty of something that really has helped with our confidence so much has been being in the lifestyle.
Exactly.
It's given us opportunities to work on ourselves and become more confident versions of ourselves. And it's that thing whenever you flirt with someone and they reciprocate it, like your confidence grows. Like those little things can help. And then also, I know that for both of us, and I'm only going to speak for me here, and you're welcome to talk about your journey if you'd like to, but for me, I know I'm not like the biggest dude in the world, not the most jacked person, but I was this really, really skinny kid. I was like 5'9" and like 100 pounds. And my whole life, no one made fun of me, but people like, oh, you should eat more. I wish I could eat like you. And all these things like you don't think are really hurtful, but like were really hurtful to me. And that also over time weighed in on my confidence. And so at one point in my life, I decided, hey, I'm going to go on this journey for myself of transforming into something that I just feel more happy about. And it wasn't because like other people had made fun of me. It's just because like I felt like I wanted to change. And so I gained weight, and I did gain confidence through the changes in the mirror. That did help me. But what I noticed is as I started making these small physical changes, my mentality changed. And as I started making those small physical changes, with that mentality flip, I started to feel this confidence in myself. And so to me, as I was changing, I just started to gain more and more. And the more confidence I got, I felt like it just kind of like snowballed for me, where as I got a little bit of confidence, it just kept growing. And I don't know if that makes sense exactly, but there's just something that flipped mentally when I started to work on myself. And I said it wasn't even the physical change, it was the fact that I was putting effort into myself. At that point, that's what I felt like I needed to do. And I felt like that helped me grow in my confidence. I said, and yes, the mirror benefits also help with that as well. But I said, for me, the mental thing was the thing that really helped more than anything else.
I was on the opposite spectrum where a majority of my life from like being a kid into early 20s, I was very overweight to the almost obese side. I was like 5'2", at my highest I was 5'2", still currently 5'2", and about 205 pounds. And this is before we got into the lifestyle, but I had a flip change. Like, it was just, I needed to make a change for myself. And even before that change, there was just, I know we talked about how we're not jealous now, and we haven't been jealous in the lifestyle, but this is because we were able to work through that jealousy and insecurity before we actually got into the lifestyle. But I didn't even like when Jace looked at a Victoria's Secret angel on TV. Like a commercial, a Victoria's Secret commercial, and this is in the 2010s era where it was all over, and ideal body was, I know the ideal body type is still slender and tall, but I mean this was like posted all over the like TV magazines, and that's what we were pushed. Anyway, so I was so unconfident with myself that I didn't like him looking at anybody else, and that was a reflection on me, not a reflection of him. Like, that's just me being insecure and thinking and not knowing and not getting it through my brain that he's not gonna leave. If your partner really loves you, even if they're going to find other people attractive, I think that if people are saying when they're in a relationship they don't find anybody else attractive at all, truly, I think that that's a lie. I think that, yeah, you don't have to go out and want to do things with them or to them or pursue them, but I think just human nature, if you're going to see something that's pretty or good looking, you're probably just going to be attracted to it. You don't have to act on it.
Yeah, I feel like if you're attracted to 1,000 people and you start dating someone, how did you just lose attractiveness?
Yeah.
Like, I agree, and it couldn't change. I think the not severity, but like the amount of attraction, I can think like, oh, I'm so in love that, like, yes, that person isn't the same attractive to me, but just like physically, yes, I think I agree with you.
But I was so insecure that I was like, it didn't even go through my head that you're not going to leave me for someone just because you find somebody else attractive. Like, that's why I was insecure. I was like, oh, he likes these people better, so he's going to want to do things with them, to people who look like them and not me because I don't look like that. But once I got over, like, it's love. It's not physical attractiveness. It's not only that insecurity in our relationship diminished. Mm-hmm. But it was also through a physical change in myself that I wanted to go on a health journey. I wanted to lose weight, and I wanted to do this for myself. I think that's also one of the bigger things, at least when it comes to a physical change, So just know that a physical change isn't going to always be the answer. You don't have to go through a physical change, but if you do want to, that's completely okay. And that's valid for you to want to do. So with me, once I realized that, okay, Jace does love me, and he loves me no matter what. Even he's told me a gazillion times that even when I was at my heaviest, he never saw me like that. He never thought that I was ugly. He never thought that I was unattractive because he loves me. And so once I was able to kind of understand that and really get that through my brain,
and believe it.
Yeah, and believe it. Yeah. It even helped me more with my physical change that I wanted to do for myself. Because it wasn't that I was trying to do it for him or for other people, but it was something that I wanted to improve on my own. But on the same end, like, if you want to make a physical change because of what other people have said, because I got made fun of a ton of times. I still get made fun of on the internet now for my size. Like, especially like I think as anybody, but even especially as women, you're put up to this crazy standard that even like the most ideal looking body types of women still get hate on. So regardless of what other people think, I really think that if it's something you want to do, then go for it. But if you're the kind of person who gets that motivation from, other people or other people's views of you, like, that's okay too. All I'm saying is if you want to make a physical change, you can. Don't feel like you have to, but don't feel bad that you want to. Because we are saying that everybody is accepted in the lifestyle.
I think all we're saying with all this is, like, we just wanted to give you guys a sight into our perspective of like how we gain confidence and what things made us feel good overall. And just know that like this is your journey, right? And like when we share our podcast here, it's us sharing our journey so that maybe you can take something that helps you, and maybe some of the things that we say don't relate to you, and that's totally okay. We're just trying to share our perspective, and that's all that we have. And so I said, whenever Bella says that, we said this was part of our journey, and that's great for us. But if that's not part of your journey, that's great for you too. So it really is however you want to do those things. But
being in the lifestyle, a lot of us, including, and a lot of other people have said that you've gained so much confidence when you're in this. And what Jace was touching on earlier, just getting that reciprocation, or just that, little boost of confidence where you're getting people flirting with you, or you're seeing people who are attracted to you. It really does boost your confidence, and it really is, it kind of makes you want to better yourself, because if you've been married or together for a really long time and then step into the lifestyle, you get used to each other. I think you're not really as much trying to impress each other anymore, right? Because you have that love. Mm-hmm. And I mean, that's kind of what happened with me. Like, I just kind of continued to let myself go because he loved me. I knew Jace loved me. And then it was like a flip of a switch where like I wanted to make that change for myself. I wanted to make that physical change for myself. But so what I'm saying is, in the lifestyle, you're essentially trying to date people. Like, you're trying to impress people. You're trying to, if you're wanting to go towards play, you're trying to get people to like you, I guess, in a sense, right? So with that, sometimes you do get that self-improvement factor just kind of built in.
This podcast is brought to you by us, Bella and Jace. If you're going on a vacation, or maybe you have a gift that you want to give your other lifestyle friends and you're looking for lifestyle clothing, we have the best apparel on the market for you. We have not only clothing, bikinis, swimsuits, we have backpacks, tumblers, cups, anything that you can name, we probably have it. You can find that at foreplay.com/shop.
Let's say you're at a party, you're going on vacation, things are moving a little bit slow. Maybe you want some conversation to flow. Maybe you want to move stuff towards play. Well, we have the perfect game for you. It's called Foreplay the Game. It is a digital and physical lifestyle icebreaker game, and you can find out all about it at foreplay.com/games. That's number 4, OURPLAY.com/games.
If you don't have a lifestyle vacation planned, a resort or a cruise planned, why not? You can join us. You can find that at foreplay.com/playcation. We have not only information about the events and trips that we'll be on this year, but also other options for you as well. And it doesn't cost any extra for you to book through our links, but helps us a lot, helps us continue to be able to make this type of content for you. And lastly, we do offer coaching now. And so we do 2-on-2 relationship coaching for the lifestyle. This can be for if you're completely new in the lifestyle, not sure exactly where to start, but wanting somebody to walk you through it. Or maybe you've been in the lifestyle for a while, hitting a lull, or you just need some advice. We are there to help. And you can find that at foreplay.com/coaching. Now back to the show.
And remember, this really, at the end of the day, yes, me and Bella are talking like, if you're wanting to like move stuff towards play with people or make those connections, but like at the end of the day, this is about you and your partner, right? And you and your partner being happy. So that doesn't matter what your body type is, what you look like, whatever, like it doesn't matter. It's truly at the end of the day about you and your partner enjoying yourselves together. And you know what, if those things turn into play or you make those friendships or whatever it is, those are all bonuses and those are all sprinkles. And yes, while I do think that you should aim to hopefully make friendships and make connections, because that is part of the beauty of the lifestyle, right? Is making those friendships and connections, whether you play or not, right? I think making those friendships and connections should be a goal, just because I think that is a really fun part about this lifestyle. But remember, it's really just about you and your partner having fun. And since you guys are going to be accepted no matter what your body type is, you can go into this lifestyle with confidence that you and your partner can have fun together and enjoy your time together. Whether you never make another friend or have another connection, you can be in the environment and be yourselves. And that's, I think, a really important thing. So I know we've talked about like how body types are super diverse, and for the general most part, I really do believe that. But we have been talking about like North America and where we generally are. I will say from our experiences in Europe, from our personal experiences in the places that we have been, now as we have not been to a ton of places in Europe, so obviously this could change from area to area, so I don't know this for everywhere, but we've done a few different lifestyle events and clubs in Spain, and in Spain, for example, I will say that most people, I would say, were more fit overall, but I think that has more of a reflection on the culture of what a lot of Europe is. I think that Europe, as a general rule, they generally have healthier food options as things. I think that walking is a lot more part of your daily life. And so if you walk around anywhere, right, in Europe, as a general rule, you see more people that look a little bit fitter, and I think it's just because the lifestyles there lend themselves to that more. And so I will say that yes, maybe you're going to go to some places in the world and be in the lifestyle, and some people might have a lot of people that are very fit. But when we're talking about this, we're talking about in general, in North America and all these places, from our experience, it is very diverse. But some places that we've been aren't quite as diverse in that way.
Yeah, so take it with a grain of salt. Jace touched on it earlier, but the lifestyle is a journey with your partner, and it's not all about all of these experiences with other people. And yes, it is. Hopefully you do make those experiences with other people, and hopefully if you want to play, then you get to that. But just know that don't make that the first priority. Make you and your partner the first priority. And eventually you are going to find your people. And we just encourage you to continue to keep going to events. If you're wanting, to really be a part of the lifestyle and really be in the lifestyle, it does take some time to find the people who you really connect with. And just don't be discouraged if you don't find that right away, because it's probably not going to be right away. I know we have so much other content out there about making connections and the time it takes, and it is an investment of time to be in this lifestyle, but it's worth it in the end, and you will find your people eventually. And just know that you are accepted. You're accepted as you are, and don't try to conform to something if you don't want to conform to something. If you want to change how you look, if you want to change something because you want to do it for yourself, then that's okay, then do that. But if you see some type of person, some groups of people who you want to be friends with, and you try to change yourself because it's what you think that they want of you, we just highly recommend not to do that.
Yeah, I know for us that the more authentic that you are going to find, you're going to attract the people that are supposed to be there. And so being authentic is what's going to get you there. And it's well worth taking the time to really find those people, and knowing that, it's not always like you're going to go into the club and make 15 friends that night. Maybe you get lucky and maybe you do. And maybe sometimes you find a lot of friends, and sometimes it takes a long time to make a lot of friends. And either way, just know that that's normal. And it's probably more normal for it to take a while to make those groups. We've been in this for 10 years, and it's taken a lot of time to make a lot of friendships. And so just know that your journey is valid however you choose to do it. Your body type is accepted no matter what it is. Legal age, of course, as Bella would say. And you guys will have a great time. So we just encourage you to go out there and go now. Don't wait. If you're nervous, if you're scared, don't wait. Go in there. You'll see that you're going to fit in. You'll see that you're going to make friends, and you're going to have a great journey. And the earlier your journey starts, I think the more time you have to grow and for it to become better and better. So,
and it is diverse.
Yes.
Just, you're going to go in, it is diverse. You see a ton of different body types. There's so much inclusivity in the lifestyle, and you don't have reason. It makes sense why you're afraid to start and afraid to go in, but once you go in and you see how accepting and comfortable it is, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I had nothing to worry about. And again, I know we said this earlier, but just know everyone's preferences are different, and you can't take offense to that if you don't fall into somebody's preferences, or, maybe you do in the end, and it ends up anyways, just, you can't be offended. And that's something that we really had to work on, because we felt like we weren't fitting in, because we were trying to fit in to people and groups where it just didn't make sense for us. And so just know that it's okay that you don't mesh with everybody, and that's just life, and you will find your people eventually. And it's such a beautiful, the lifestyle really is beautiful, going into it and seeing how diverse it is.
Yeah, I totally agree. And so I think that kind of wraps up, so that hopefully that gives you some help along in your journey, or some talking points, or anything. Hopefully it just is able to further your journey in some ways. But we will go ahead and jump into Bella and Jace's
Weekly Obsessions.
Do you want to go twice? Twice? Oh my gosh, I was already thinking about my weekly obsession, and I said twice instead of, do you want to go first? I'm going to go first, so this makes more sense. My first weekly obsession is the movie Blink Twice.
Okay,
so I messed up. We went and saw Blink Twice. We knew nothing about it, and it is a thriller, but it's a little bit funny-ish at times. It gives me the vibe of, if you guys have seen like Triangle of Sadness and Swarm and Midsummer, like those movies, it gives me that kind of feel. And I really didn't know anything about this movie. I had no clue what it was about. I loved it. And it was, maybe it's just like for me personally, but I loved it. It was filmed so beautiful. It was a good thriller. I didn't know what was going to happen. The cast is wonderful. It has bits of comedy in it. It felt like such a good blend of everything I wanted. It didn't feel too much of this or too much of that. It felt so balanced. And I loved it.
It's directed by Zoe Kravitz too, which is really cool. But yeah, also I think one of my favorite films I've seen this year.
I agree. I thoroughly enjoyed Blink Twice. My second weekly obsession is chicken salad. We went home to Oklahoma to visit family recently, and my mom made chicken salad, and I've always loved chicken salad. But then I was like, you know what? I should make my own chicken salad at home. And so I've been starting to make my own chicken salad and have it for lunch, and I just really like it. My recipe's probably not the best recipe ever, but if you want to know what I use some shredded chicken, I use Greek yogurt, I use some salt and some like garlic powder, stuff like that, some seasonings, I use some apple, some celery, and I think that's it. And I
That's like the healthy version.
Yeah, it's like a healthy version. I'm trying to be healthy choices, and it's very protein packed, and I love the taste, and it's pretty easy to make, and I've thoroughly been enjoying it like on a sandwich with lunch. And after we film the podcast, it's going to be lunchtime, and I'm going to have a chicken salad sandwich, and I'm going to enjoy the hell out of it.
If you're wanting the recipe where it's still pretty healthy, just not as healthy as what Jace has molded it to or like changed it to, but his mom usually also adds in either slivered almonds or pecans, some kind of nut. Actually, those pretty much are the only two that taste good. Yeah. I wouldn't put like cashews in there, but she mixes them up, and then she adds cranberries, which adds like a really good taste and texture to it, but Jason didn't want to put all the sugar in it.
Sugar in there. And mayonnaise. Or if you don't want to like fully do mayonnaise, you could do like mayonnaise and Greek yogurt and mix them. But to me, I think the Greek yogurt tastes just as good, but I also use Greek yogurt to substitute for a lot of things. So I might have just, like have a worse palate for that, but it tastes good to me.
It's not a worse palate. I think you're just used to it.
Yeah.
So you're able to.
Yeah.
Enjoy
that. Anyway, so that's my two obsessions. What are yours?
And add pepper.
Oh yeah, salt and pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, maybe a little bit like cayenne. I use a little bit of that, and a little bit of seasoned salt, and yeah.
Okay, my obsessions are Sabrina Carpenter came out with her newest album, Short and Sweet, and I am absolutely so incredibly obsessed. It's crazy. It's been on repeat. I think it's a no-skip album. I think it's one of my personal favorite albums ever, but I do love Sabrina Carpenter and I love pop music, so I'm not saying it's like the greatest work of art in the entire history of music, but just as a casual music lover and listener, it is so good. It has like a retro feel to it almost, and all of her visualizers for the lyric videos are really good, and just her vibe is just, I freaking love it. My favorite.
I was gonna say that movie that came out last Friday, and I think that I have heard the full album with you at least 7 times.
Yeah.
With you.
And it is short though. It really is short and sweet. Like it's like I think it's only 35 minutes or something like that total.
But still, that's so almost 3.5 hours at least. But I love it too. I think it's an amazing album. I don't know if I like it more than Emails I Can't Send, but I do love it.
Standout songs, Juno, Taste. Everybody Loves Espresso, and Please, Please, Please. I'm not going to include those because those have been out for a while. Her slow songs are really good too. I really like Lie, Lie, Lie. I'm gonna do 3 obsessions.
Okay.
There's a couple songs on Post Malone's new album. He came out with one. I can't remember exactly what it's called. F1 Trillion, and then something. But there's 3 songs on there that I freaking love, and I am obsessed with Post Malone's countryness right now. I would love if Post Malone, because Sabrina's kind of been doing a country-ish twang kind of thing in her music, but if Post Malone and Chappell Roan did some kind of like country mashup of sort, pop country mashup, I would freaking love that. That'd be amazing. There's a song with Lainey something, I don't know her last name, but it's she kind of sounds like Casey Musgraves mixed with Dolly Parton, kind of. She just has such a good country voice. But that song with Post Malone, Nosedive, oh my gosh, I love that song. And then he has one with Tim McGraw. Oh my god, so good.
And you like the Morgan Wallen one the most?
Oh yeah.
And the Blake Shelton one is good.
Pour me a drink.
The album is like 35 songs or something crazy. We haven't even finished the whole album.
Yeah, no. But when we were in Oklahoma listening to that was fun.
It was fun.
I felt very in my country roots. This girl from California. This Vietnamese girl from California. Got my country roots in Oklahoma. Listening to Post Malone. My third obsession is Sailor Moon Cosmos. Not the drink. Actually, I don't even know if that's a drink. It sounds like a drink, Sailor Moon Cosmos. But Sailor Moon is an anime. And finally, the last, I guess, movie kind of like with Sailor Moon Crystal came out. And it's the Sailor Stars section of Sailor Moon, which I like the 90s anime a lot more. But it has been cool to see it be remade, and I'm obsessed with Sailor Moon. I've been obsessed with Sailor Moon. I think it's like the first thing I've ever liked in my life was Sailor Moon. So the Sailor Moon Cosmos coming out is pretty special to me, but I love that too. And it has come out, the Japanese version's been out since last year, but the American dubbed version just came out on Netflix. So I've been obsessed with that, and that is the end of my obsession. So thank you guys so much for listening. Hopefully this was able to help you feel like more relieved in knowing that yes, you are accepted in the lifestyle regardless of your body type. You do not have to fit or conform into some certain look, and just go out there, have fun, go with your partner, you're gonna make friends, and hopefully we will see you guys in person at some event.
If you go to a cruise, we'll probably be there.
Yeah. And
cruises.
We'll talk to you guys in the next one. Bye.
If you'd like to support the show, you can leave us a 5-star review wherever you're listening to our podcast. All our information will be listed in the show notes below and on our website, fourplay.com. That's number 4, OURPLAY.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel where we make videos and vlogs about the swinging lifestyle. Head to fourplay.com/YouTube to watch and subscribe. We have the ultimate adult party game for the sexually inclined called Foreplay the Game that's both digital and physical. It's perfect for breaking the ice and spicing up any party. You can find more information at foreplay.com/games. We also have the best swinger lifestyle, kinky, and adult humor clothing and accessories that you can find at foreplay.com/shop. If you're looking to plan a lifestyle destination, booking through our links at foreplay.com/travel really helps support the show and helps us be able to continue to create this type of content for you. We're on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, and more. You can find all our current social media accounts at foreplay.com/socials, and I have an OnlyFans, which you can find at onlyfans.com/BellaLunaVIP. We also have a Facebook group and Discord community and would love for you to join us. You can find the direct links in the show notes below. Lastly, we're on STC and Cassidy at Foreplay, and you can get a free full membership trial by using our link. You can email us at hello@foreplay.com with any questions or comments, or head to foreplay.com/ask. Again, all our information will be listed in the show notes below, and we thank you so much for listening to our podcast. See you in the next one. Bye!